Hi friends, good evening. How to improve and how to achieve the objectives out of it. But I am sure you must be shocked. What is this new face and talking and interacting with us about industrial work culture and whatnot. But let me take a pleasure to introduce myself to you. I am DT and there I got opportunity to learn TPM, total productive maintenance, and teach TPM, and formally I got retired in the year 2012, and thereafter I am a freelance consultant, mentor or guide to achieve their objectives. TPM is the base for our training and guidance and support. So this is about me. Now let us come back to our topic of interaction, industrial work culture, how to adopt and how to improve. Now I will not say it's a new topic. It's a pretty old topic, and industries have been it's not definitely not a new topic. But what is the change? Now recently we faced a lot of difficulty due to Corona and setback out of Corona, and we are restarting our small and medium ancillaries. And naturally earlier trained people, we have put lot many efforts to train them, but now they may not be with us. They have gone to their hometown. We don't know when they will be coming, whether at all they will be coming or not. Same way, to some extent our core team also must have got disturbed or dislocated. So when we are restarting, we need to revisit and identify those gaps and try to patch it up and speed up to ramp up. That's the situation. Secondly, now India, there is a good opportunity to get Chinese product into the India, make in India, and supply across the world. But having said that, Chinese industries, the productivity levels are very high. Operational cost controls are very much tightened. And if we wanted to beat into the competition, we also need to achieve our productivity levels and cost levels. And for that, this industrial work culture, adopting and improving it further, this is very much important. Thirdly, as we all know, in a private sector, the employees are paid for work and performance out of work in terms of PQCD, productivity, quality, cost, delivery. Of course, safety is the best. And we need to understand this TPM, adopt it and put it into the practice. Knowing a TPM is not enough. We should know phase by phase, and then we should put it into the practice. Then only it will be possible for us to achieve our objectives in terms of customer delight, in terms of company delight or stakeholder delight and employee delight. Now these SMEs are in supply chain, and they are tier 2 companies are supplying to tier 1, tier 1 is supplying to OEM, and then OEM is putting into the product market for the end user. So we all know that whatever product we are producing, the price of that product is not under our control. We have to sit with the customer, and whatever cost structure customer decides, and then when we agree upon that, and with that same cost structure we have to manufacture the product and supply. As we know, when a OEM, they have a system about the costing sheet, and when they decide upon the cost, they interact with us, they study our process operation by operation, they work out what is the ideal conditions in production, what should be the productivity norms, quality norms, and accordingly the price of the product is agreed upon mutually, and with the same price we have to supply it. But once we start on the production, the fact is in the shop floor we came across lot many losses. Losses in terms of machine utilization, losses in terms of achieving the production as per the decided cycle time, then quality losses, cost losses. So all the today's customer schedule, we have produced, we did the PDI inspection, we have sorted okay, not okay product, okay product went to customer, today's customer delivery schedules are completed, customer is happy. Okay, customer may be happy because he got our product on time and defect free supply. But what about our happiness? If we continue to lose on because of these production losses, cost losses, quality losses, we all agree that we may not be in position to serve for longer. So we need to adopt TPM to change work culture of our people, improve it further, put it as a system. So improve and sustain, improve and sustain, improve and sustain. In terms of productivity, quality, cost, delivery, safety is the best. In the production team, right from machine operator up to the operation head, in between there are few engineers, few managers. The whole team need to adopt what are the productivity norms we have agreed with the customer, and what is our actual productivity level, what is our line efficiency, what is our machine efficiency, what is that cycle time we have agreed to do the operations, whether are we in position to do the production with the same productivity norms. If at all there are some losses, how to capture on the losses, how to carry out Viva analysis, how to do the kaizens and improvements, so that one by one losses we are taking care of. Similarly for the quality team, right from line inspector, final inspector, quality engineers, quality managers and quality in charge, they must adopt zero defect production approach. They must maintain 4M1T conditions, means they should demand from the other supporting functions to maintain the 4M1T conditions. And then they should look back whether the production process is capable of producing with zero defect. If not, revisit again. So that's the primarily quality function job. Same way for maintenance team, including maintenance fitter, maintenance engineers, maintenance managers. They are in any organization so that the machines are operating with zero breakdown. To be very frankly, a man can work for 8 hours, at the most for 12 hours, and then he has to go home. because he can't work beyond 12 hours. He has to take a rest. But machine doesn't say like that. Machine says, I am capable to work for 24 hours, provided you maintain me. Then it becomes a maintenance and production team's responsibility how to maintain the machines by doing autonomous maintenance activity, planned maintenance activity, so that when we switch on, the machine starts and we produce as per our productivity norms. Same is applicable to the support functions. Support functions like stores, purchase, PPC. They should always look back at the shop floor whether there is any loss because of support from my function. I mean, if at all there are some PKCD losses because of these support functions, it is their primary responsibility to do the improvements, interact with the shop floor people, improve PKCD losses in the shop floor, at the same time improve PKCD of their own function. So all these things come under TPM based training, learning, guidance, support, and knowing only TPM is not enough. Whatever we are trying to understand, we should put it, that's the same, into the practice. Unless it is put into the practice, the improvement journey will never start. Knowing TPM is not enough. Now this all calls for revisiting our team, revisiting our culture, revisiting our gaps, and try to do the patchwork and start. Now when it comes to training, immediately people start looking at HR person. Where is HR person? Just get him in the office. There are some training requirements he should do. Because primarily these are shop floor topics. Secondly, we have to take the ownership of development of our team members. So while day-to-day working, interacting with them, what problems we are facing, where are the weaknesses, what is the weakness in understanding, what is the weakness in practice. So training topics identification, the shop floor person can do much better way. Perhaps HR person will organize the training. He may get some expert from the outside faculty. He may give you a very good theoretical training. But whether it is enough, our people will better understand the training topics if we conduct the training with their day-to-day examples in their own shop floor. So finally, training is the responsibility of the leaders in the shop floor. Those can be production leader, it can be quality leader, it can be maintenance leader. This training topic should be identified. Then if now there are good teachers to talk on the subject, we can identify the teachers. Then HR person can organize the trainings. He can facilitate us to conduct the trainings. And to me, training is not the one-time job. We have to repeatedly invest our time, efforts, and to some extent money to conduct the trainings. Many times it happens that, okay, some 6 months back we have given the training on this topic. What next? No, training is over, topic is over, I did my job. It doesn't work that way. Training is a continuous activity, as production is a continuous activity. You may have a small session of trainings, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes training, one topic of training. And once we teach any topic to our people, we must ask them to do some small improvement project related to that topic. And once they do that improvement project related to that topic, they will rightly understand that topic. And then over a period we have to put that into the system or daily work management. This is how the training has to go. It is a continuous activity, and we cannot only depend on HR person. Ownership should be ours. HR person will definitely help us, facilitate us. So this is the importance of adopting TPM, adopting work culture, improving it further, and try to achieve our objectives in terms of customer delight, in terms of stakeholder delight, and in terms of employees delight. And we have a good opportunity to make Chinese products in India, made in India, and supplied across the world. And I am sure if we know the importance of this topic, if we adopt these cultural changes, if we improve it, I am sure this will be the one of the roadmap to make the Chinese product in India. So this is what this is just a reopening of the topic, old topic like industrial work culture. So definitely we'll meet next week again with one topic at micro level. Thank you very much.